Good morning, Warriors. Very special day today. It's Veterans Day. Hope all of you that have had the honor to serve or are currently serving, thank you so much for what you've done to help make our country the great place that it is. We are only the land of the free because of the brave. Look forward to getting a couple people on. Hopefully, today we can have some of you join us on cam. Going to go ahead and put in the link here of how to join us. We'll give it a couple minutes here for a few more to join, as always. All right, everyone. Happy Veterans Day today. Pretty interesting history on Veterans Day that we'll talk about here in a second. But hope everyone's gearing up for a great weekend and a great day today with hopefully parades and opportunity to honor all of you who have worn the uniform or currently wearing the uniform. All right. Anybody joining us, if you are a veteran or you are currently serving, if you wouldn't mind just sharing your branch of service and so we can kind of hear a little more about all of us. Good morning. Good morning. So I want to go ahead and share some interesting history about Veterans Day. Veterans Day was originally called Armistice Day, and it had to do with World War One. For those of you that know me personally, know that I'm a huge World War One buff, a World War One nerd, and basically what happened was. Armistice Day was celebrating the end of World War One. Now it's interesting because World War One never technically finished because there was an armistice. There was never really a surrender. So that's the first thing a lot of people don't know about. But what they wanted to do was focus on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th minute was going to be when they were going to all lay down arms during that. So first one we have, oh, Darren, how are you doing, Aaron? Air Force, fantastic. My brother Adam is currently serving in the Air Force. He's right now deployed over to Camp Al Adid over in Doha, Qatar. So thank you, Air Force. So again, Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28th, 1919, officially making the end of World War One. The armistice was again on the 11th day of the 11th hour of the 11th minute was when all fighting stopped. On November 11th, 1921, there was unidentified. There was a soldier killed in the war, was buried at Arlington National Cemetery on that same day the previous year. Also, on that time, again, a lot of history off of this. Hello, hey Mark, how you doing, buddy? Happy Veterans Day. One thing a lot of people don't know is the history of the red poppies. This is very popular over in England, but the red poppies were the symbol of World War One, and it came from the incredible poem by John McCrae called Flanders Field. And one of the reasons they have the poppies is the black stand in the center of the poppy stands for obviously the mourning, and the red stands for the blood. In June 4th of 1926, Congress passed a resolution saying that the recurring anniversary of November 11th, 1918 should be commemorated with a Thanksgiving, prayer, and exercise designed to perpetuate peace through goodwill and mutual understanding between all nations. The president annually called this observation Armistice Day. Now, by that time, 20 state legislators had made November 11th a legal holiday, And on May 13th, 1938, there was a federal holiday instituted dedicated to the cause of world peace and then became known as Armistice Day. Actually, there are no U.S. holidays because the states resign the right to designate their own, and the government can only designate holidays for federal employees in the District of Columbia. So I always thought that was interesting. In 1954, the Congress amended the 1938 Act to call it, instead of Armistice Day, Veterans Day. And President Dwight Eisenhower, our famous general president, signed legislation that November 11th would be honor American veterans of all wars. The next development came in 1968 when the Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, and which to start 3-day weekends for federal employees, encouraging tourism and travel by celebrating our 4 national holidays, which again, one of those being Veterans Day. Veterans Day was then set as the 4th Monday in October, and the first Veterans in this new law was Monday, October 25th, 1971. Now, a bunch of confusion stirs as many states disapproved of this change, so they continue to observe the holiday on its original date, which I like because I think, the whole thing with the 11th hour of the 11th day. So in 1975, it became date that the actual Veterans Day would be carry both historic and patriotic significance Americans. President Gerald Ford signed a new law returning the observation of Veterans Day to November 11th. So it's only been since 1978 that we've officially had Veterans Day on November 11th. Great Britain, France, Austria, and Canada also commemorate the veterans of World War I and World War II near November 11th. Canada has Remembrance Day, where Britain has Remembrance Sunday, which is the second Sunday of November. Some of the traditions of Veterans Day is laying the wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier in Arlington Cemetery. And the one thing I always hope people know is that Veterans Day is different than Memorial Day. Veterans Day is a celebration. Veterans Day is to celebrate all veterans who are currently wearing the uniform or have worn the uniform. Memorial Day is a little bit more of a somber event. Memorial Day is when we honor those who gave their life for our country, that died in service of our country. So today is a day of celebrating those that are alive, and Memorial Day is setting up, honoring those who made that ultimate sacrifice for our troops. I'm going to finish up here today with some really special quotes that I really enjoy that mean a lot to me here on Veterans Day. I think it's a good one to start with is all the way back one of our founding national heroes, Nathan Hale. And right as he was getting ready to be hung by the British as a spy during the Revolutionary War, his last words were, "I regret that I only have one life to give for my country." General Washington, in his farewell orders to the Continental Army, said the unparalleled perseverance of the armies of the United States through almost every possible suffering and discouragement for the space of 8 long years was a little short of a standing miracle. Moving on to the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln said, "These brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated this ground far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here." Frederick Douglass in 1863, also talking about the Civil War, said, "Once let the black man get upon his person the brass letters U.S. Let him get an eagle on his button and a musket on his shoulder and bullets in his pockets, and there is no power on earth which can deny he has earned the right to citizenship." And then finally, Woodrow Wilson, "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride and heroism of those who died in their country's service with gratitude and victory." And, there's so many other great quotes that are out there, but one of my favorite poems that I'm going to lead with, and I'll try to see if I can put it in the chat box here. And let me just make sure I've got the right. All right, here we go here. Eric, how are you doing, brother? Happy Veterans Day and Marine Corps birthday. Thank you so much. Yes, yesterday was a great evening with my fellow Marines celebrating the Marine Corps birthday, and today is just as great because we get to honor all veterans. But I'm going to finish with this incredible poem that just, I think, really talks to the essence of what it means to serve our country and to be a veteran. And before I read it, I'm going to actually put it here in the chat box. Kishner, so great to hear from you, brother. Eric was one of my dear friends in high school and fellow wrestling buddies. He used to always kick my butt on the mat. But anyway, let's go ahead and conclude with this. It was the soldier, not the minister, who has given us the freedom of religion. It is the soldier, not the reporter, who has given us the freedom of the press. It is the soldier, not the poet, who has given us the freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to protest. It is the soldier, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the soldier, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the soldier who salutes the flag and serves beneath the flag, and in whose coffin is draped by the flag, and who allows the protester to burn the flag. Charles Province. So for those of you, again, happy Veterans Day. If you see a veteran, make sure to thank them for their service. Tell them why you thank them for their service. Tell them exactly why you're appreciative. Also want to remind everybody that we are coming up, actually tomorrow will be our 1 month countdown until the big announcement for Warrior Academy. Again, we've had a whole team of people that have been working around the clock for over a year now on putting together this exciting curriculum for the Warrior Academy. Looking forward to announcing more details on it as we get closer. We are just in the final stretches of putting the final tips on it, but this movement that is going to be officially launched on December 12th is going to be nothing short of incredible. It is going to be designed to help anybody that wants to embrace and that does embrace the warrior traits. And again, warrior traits doesn't necessarily mean you're actually a veteran or even a active duty. A warrior is just someone that uses challenge and adversity to overcome obstacles in their life. And the Warrior Academy is all about how we support our fellow warriors, how we use those warrior traits to achieve success. And the big focus is going to be on entrepreneurship, starting a business, creating a side hustle, taking your small business and growing it to the next level. So with that, I want to say happy Veterans Day, Semper Fidelis, and we'll see everybody this evening as we live stream from the Marine Corps Ball, the Parris Island Headquarters and Service Battalion's Marine Corps Ball, which will be occurring this evening. Hoorah!